Financial security was once a cornerstone of the American dream. If you worked hard, pursued an education, and saved, you could expect to be better off than your parents. But for Millennials and Gen Z, this ideal feels more like a distant memory. These young adults, despite earning more on paper, face financial challenges that weren't nearly as prevalent for previous generations. Today, we're diving into 11 reasons why Millennials and Gen Z are the poorest generations in modern U.S. history, and why achieving financial independence has never been more challenging. 1. Rising cost of living outpaces wage growth. Let's start with one of the largest issues: the cost of living. Basic necessities like housing, healthcare, and groceries have seen significant price hikes, far outpacing wage growth. In 1985, a typical male worker could meet family expenses with about 30 weeks of pay, but today it would take 53 weeks, yet there are only 52 in a year. It's no wonder many Millennials and Gen Z feel like they're running in place financially, never able to truly get ahead despite working hard. Every time wages don't keep up with these essentials, it becomes harder to put money aside for a future. Savings dwindle, and the dream of building wealth feels impossible. If you've felt like you're doing everything right and still not getting ahead, this may be why. 2. Housing affordability crisis. Homeownership was once a core part of the American dream, but in recent years, skyrocketing prices have made owning a home seem out of reach for many Millennials and Gen Z. Between 2000 and 2020, median home prices more than doubled. In many cities, prices increased even more sharply. The Home Affordability Index, which measures the ability to buy a home on a median income, recently fell below 100, meaning even average earners can't afford median-priced homes anymore. The result? Many young adults remain with their parents longer, not out of choice but out of necessity. And if you're one of the many renters watching housing prices climb, it feels like the opportunity to own a home is slipping away. 3. Increased dependence on debt. Unlike prior generations, Millennials and Gen Z are increasingly relying on credit card debt for everyday expenses. With an average of $6,000 in credit card debt, many young adults are using debt not for assets like homes, but for basics like groceries or utilities. Debt, once a tool for building wealth, has become a weight holding them back. High interest rates mean that every dollar borrowed costs significantly more over time. Relying on debt to make ends meet creates a cycle of payments that chip away at financial freedom and make it difficult to save for the future. Education costs are at an all-time high. The rising cost of college is a well-known burden. Today's students pay nearly 4 times as much for college as baby boomers did. In 1970, the cost of a degree was within reach for most families, but now the average yearly tuition cost has ballooned to over $24,000. And as degrees become more common, their value has decreased, making higher levels of education necessary to compete in the job market. This pressure to earn degrees at any cost often means taking on high levels of student debt. And unlike other loans, student debt often takes decades to pay off, meaning less money for saving or investing. Student loans add another significant layer to the financial challenges Millennials and Gen Z face. For baby boomers, college debt was often manageable. But today, it's not unusual for Millennials to be paying off loans well into their 30s or 40s. Imagine starting your first job and immediately dedicating a portion of your income to paying off loans. Every dollar spent on debt repayment is a dollar that can't be invested or saved for other goals, from buying a home to building a retirement fund. Student loan burdens slow down financial progress and make it harder to reach other milestones. Today's rental prices can consume nearly half of a young person's income. High rent not only makes it hard to save, but it also leaves little room for other investments, whether it's saving for a home down payment or building an emergency fund. If you're one of the many renters facing yearly rent increases, it can feel like an endless cycle of paying more for the same space, with little return. Renting might be practical, But with rising costs, it becomes another obstacle to building wealth. Rising healthcare costs. Healthcare is another area where millennials and Gen Z are paying more than prior generations. Even with insurance, high premiums and deductibles are a reality for many. And when an emergency arises, a single unexpected medical bill can derail months of financial planning. As healthcare costs continue to rise, young adults face a difficult choice between spending on immediate needs or saving for the future. When essentials become unaffordable, financial progress is slowed, keeping many in a cycle of financial struggle. The vanishing middle-class jobs. Manufacturing jobs were once a reliable source of stable income without the need for a college degree. But over the past few decades, automation and globalization have replaced many of these jobs with gig work and part-time roles that don't offer the same level of stability or benefits. Without access to reliable middle-class jobs, young adults today face a less certain future. Job security has been replaced by job fluidity, making it difficult to build a stable financial base. Income might come in bursts, but the consistency needed to save and invest is often missing. Oh, quick heads up, this will be fast. We're giving away $100 to one lucky subscriber to help kickstart their financial journey. All you need to do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Who knows, you might be the lucky winner. See, I promised it'd be quick. Now, let's get back to the video. High cost of starting a family. Starting a family is often a financial goal for many, but the cost of raising children has become nearly prohibitive. Childcare, healthcare, and education all represent significant costs that can make having a family feel unattainable. For many millennials and Gen Z, the thought of having children is weighed down by concerns about affordability. And when even basic needs feel like a financial stretch, saving for the future becomes secondary. Economic policies favoring baby boomers. Baby boomers came of age during a period of economic expansion, with policies that favored education, affordable housing, and welfare programs. As they aged, they voted for policies that supported retirement benefits and wealth-friendly tax breaks. But millennials and Gen Z haven't seen similar policies working in their favor. The result is an economic landscape that feels tilted away from younger generations. Without the same level of support, financial security becomes harder to achieve, and the path to financial independence feels much steeper. Inheritance inequality. Finally, inheritance will play a role in shaping future wealth distribution, but this benefit won't reach everyone. Wealthy baby boomers are likely to pass their wealth to their children, but those without this advantage will continue to struggle. For most young adults, inheritance is a distant or unlikely prospect, meaning their financial progress depends entirely on their own earnings. And while some may receive inheritances, it's unlikely to balance out the financial barriers millennials and Gen Z are facing today. The challenges facing millennials and Gen Z are complex and multifaceted, from rising costs to limited job stability. But by understanding these hurdles, you're better equipped to navigate them and take steps toward your own financial independence. If you found this video insightful, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and click the notification bell for more insights on building a stable financial future. Don't miss our next video, where we'll reveal the 7 must-read books for mastering personal finance. Trust me, you'll want to see this.